So, Remnant 2 is finally available, and in this video we are going through the ultimate beginner guide, tips that are going to help you get through the beginning of the game and get a better understanding of it. So jumping straight into this one, make sure that you smash every single thing that looks breakable. I typically go around and I just spam my melee, because every now and then you are going to find some scrap, and it's going to help you out massively when it comes to vendors, because scrap is the main currency in the game. Melee will do the trick, although you can just combat roll into breakable objects, and that is by far the fastest way to do it. Next up, if you are running low on ammo for your long gun, so your main primary weapon, switch over to your handgun and start using that a little bit, as ammo drops a bit more often for the gun you're not using. So long gun drops handgun ammo and the other way around. Next up is to listen to audio cues when you are playing the game. Special enemies are going to play a specific sound when they spawn in and when they die. And these special enemies usually drop good items, so kill them when you can. Early on you'll find things like Luminite Crystal, and that's going to be really helpful for crafting mods and stuff for your weapons. Then, just because certain armor has a higher armor stat than a different piece, don't just go and equip it. Weight is a factor in this game as well. And if your weight is too high, you're going to start fat rolling. Fat rolling is just going to slow down your roll altogether, and you don't want to be fat rolling, as some of the bosses in the game are going to require that you are quick with your movement. Some bosses really will not give you a chance, and if you're fat rolling, you've basically got a bigger chance of dying, respawning at the checkpoint outside of the boss room, and walking through that fog again to start the boss fight all over again. Then we have pausing in Remnant 2, and it's not possible even if you've set your game to offline. So instead, what you can do is visit a world stone or a checkpoint and rest in that menu, as enemies won't be able to really attack you because it's typically classed as a safe area, although the interaction with the world stone or checkpoint is going to reset the enemies in the area, so there is a pro and a con to doing it. Another thing you can also do is clear out all the enemies in a certain area and then just stand in like a little corner somewhere, and you should be alright to do that too. Next up we have exploration, and make sure that you are exploring the entire area you are in, as you never know which tiny little area may contain some really good loot. You can find tomes of knowledge, you can find rings, they are scattered everywhere, so make sure you are exploring. But not only that, double check everywhere, as there could be places that are no longer red on the map, but you haven't actually explored there. That happened to me in the very first area, and it's lucky I did double check, otherwise I would have missed out on a bunch of scrap that came out of a chest. So basically your minimap in the top right is going to start off red, and it will slowly go white as you explore areas, where some areas will turn white even though you haven't been there, maybe because you've been to a surrounding area. So double check everywhere just to be on the safe side, because you never know what you're going to miss out on. And chests that have a bunch of scrap, iron and other stuff in them can be found by looking for the yellow dots on the minimap. They will only appear once you have gone past the chest. So basically just utilize the map and the minimap as much as you possibly can, because all the resources you're going to find, especially early on, like scrap and iron, are going to be so helpful that if you're not exploring, you're just wasting a ton of time. You're going to miss out on weapon upgrades, mods and everything like that. And then we have to focus your early trait points on vigor. Health is going to be really important at the start of the game, especially against bosses, as they're going to deal a ton of damage, and some of them can be really hard to deal with no matter the difficulty. So those are tips that are going to hopefully help you out in the start of Remnant 2. And on that note, we are going to leave the video there. If you enjoyed it, leaving a like is appreciated. If you wish to support me further as a creator, there are links in the description. Let me know your thoughts about the video in the comments. And if you want to watch more, you can click the video on screen. All support on the channel is greatly appreciated, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.